organizers, welcome to this Mustang update video with Pretzel, where we're going to be doing some working on approaches as well as picking up her feet. So this is my first session with her being back from our 2-week road trip. So that means that she has not been doing anything for 2 weeks. And I had asked the staff to be taking her out for chores, and they did for a couple times, and then she started to become a little bit difficult to catch again. So then she hadn't been coming out for chores all of the time. So she hasn't even been getting handling. So I really wanted to work on approaching her and being able to get her. And I thought today, just to make it a little bit different, we're going to work inside the field. So I'm not even going to take her out of the field. I just want her to know that I can approach her, people can come to her, we can touch her kindly, we can move around, and there's no reason to get upset. So first off is I caught her, I gave her a cookie, and then I've now walked away from her, unclipped and walked away, and I want to practice reapproaching. And because Franny's Mustang is standing right there, and Franny's Mustang is also a little bit still kind of new, I want to approach and gave her a cookie as well. I don't want to be spending like a lot of time shooing her away and things like that, because we still want Aurora to be happy around people as well. So then I'm coming in at the side, and I know that Pretzel is most comfortable with people on her left side. So I want to make sure when I'm coming to catch her, that I'm coming on her left side, and that if she's positioning herself, that puts me kind of straight onto her or on her right side. I know that she's not super comfortable with that, so I'm not even going to bother trying to catch her like that. So then here, I'm just practicing kind of holding the halter, touching her friendly, showing her that even though it may look intimidating if somebody's at the front of you or kind of grabbing the front of your halter, that it really is just friendly touch. I think what it comes down to with Pretzel is she just doesn't know if you're actually going to be kind or not. And because she's a prey animal, she's erring on the side of caution. Let's just get away rather than risk that this person's actually not going to be very kind. So I'm just kind of massaging her ears a little bit. I want to show her that being around people, touch can feel good. It's not just something that you have to tolerate, but it can actually be something kind of enjoyable too. Giving her lots of little scratches here, trying to find a scratchy spot that she likes, although it's a little bit tricky when they're first getting used to touches because they're a little bit on guard, so they don't always let you know where they're gonna like to be scratched. But I'm trying to do the usual suspects, like in between the chest there. Sometimes I like on their neck or by their withers. And then here you can see she gets a little bit worried. She's like, what is this massage you are giving me? This is not something I am used to having. So I just go a little slower and try to show her that I'm trying to help her feel good and doing a little bit of a massage, which she was a little bit worried about. And then just kind of saying, okay, well, like if you're not into it, we can come back over here. And just because she doesn't show me where she likes to be scratched immediately doesn't mean I'll stop trying. It just means that I'll do a little bit, maybe try somewhere else, and we'll just keep trying day by day to try to find the spots that she likes. And when she realizes that I'm really not trying to hurt her and I'm trying to just help her feel good, like here I'm doing some shoulder releases, trying to get in behind her shoulder blades a little bit, then she'll start to let her guard down a little bit, and then she'll be able to enjoy what I'm doing a little bit more. Trying to scratch in those spots where she maybe can't scratch herself and helping her with a little bit of that tension in her back. Trying to go a little slower as I move towards the bum because she gets a little bit worried as I go towards her bum there. So trying to go a little bit slower, inching my way a little bit more, returning to the areas of comfort for her. So I'm not trying to completely blow her up and make her feel like she needs to move. And there you can see going a little slower, taking a little bit more time. I'm able to rub my hands over her hip. She's got an ear on me. You can see that left ear is following me thinking, what is she doing? I'm like, I'm just doing a little bit of a massage, just kind of running down. And then as I do that, I'm starting to go down the legs a little bit more and touching. And you can see she's definitely got her ears on me and she's wondering. So it's that fine balance of going slow enough that she doesn't get a chance to be upset, and yet fast enough that I'm not doing things too long that cause her to get overwhelmed and explode. So it's kind of that gray area in between. Be fast and yet be slow. And then after doing that, starting to pick up her feet, which is going to be one of the skills that we have to do as part of the competition. which means it's very much a skill that I want to practice lots and lots. I want to make sure she's super comfortable with that, and not just in the cross ties picking up her feet, but also out in the open like this, because when we do the competition, we'll be out in an arena needing to pick up her feet as part of a pattern. So it's great to practice picking up those feet in different spots. So she was a little bit reluctant with this foot, so I'm just slow and patient, and then I want to make sure that I let go when she's being calm, and I try to gently place that foot back down so that way the horse isn't kind of panicking about when are you going to drop my foot and having to catch it. I try to just place it gently. And it's kind of funny because you can see Aurora in the background there just kind of watching. She's probably thinking, gee, she's getting lots of cookies today in the field. And then the back foot here, the back feet, she's still gaining more confidence. So even though in the cross ties she stands really well, here when given the space to move out of the way, she fiddles around a little bit. Not awful. It's not that she's, walking away a whole lot, but she's kind of saying, hey, like this is a little bit unnerving for me. So I just kind of stay patient with it, keep running my hands down slowly, and then eventually get to a point where I can pick up the foot and gently place it back down a little bit, and trying to do it such that she doesn't actually move her feet. So there I thought that was pretty good. She thought about walking away, but didn't end up moving away from me. She just backed up a little bit there to think about getting the cookie there. And with her turning away, that's her also just kind of saying like, I'm a little bit nervous. And so all of these little things, I take notice of them, and it doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily stop what I'm doing, because I need her to get comfortable with being handled for the sake of even just her health care. She needs to be able to pick up her feet, to be able to get those feet trimmed, but I will be respective of that threshold in the sense of, okay, like we don't need to keep pushing at this, like get it a little bit better. I'm not expecting perfection each time I take you out. If I just pick it up a little bit and put it down, and then, we'll try it again tomorrow. We don't need to drill you on this task until you get it absolutely perfect. As long as you're a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more understanding, then that's good enough for me. And we can keep making progress. So here on this right side now, remember her right side was always her more challenging side. Even still, like I try to approach her on that right side to try to catch her. I only catch her from the left side. And that's going to get better and better as time goes on. And here doing a little bit of picking up the feet on the right side after spending a little bit of time doing some massage on that right side just to build her confidence back up. Trying to help her realize that everything's going to be okay. And when she does back up a plunge, trying to bring her a little bit back forward and noticing that Aurora was kind of crouching in on the space there. So trying to block her out of that. Just trying to show her, hey, like you backed up a little bit. I don't really want you to back up a little bit. So let's come forward to get that cookie. If I keep giving the cookie after she backs up, then essentially what I'm going to do is reward her for backing up. So I want to be careful that when I'm giving the cookie, it's because she's doing the thing that I want to do. And with Aurora being around here thinking, hey, can I get some more cookies? I want to be polite with Aurora because she's still a new Mustang as well. And at the same time, by sending her away a little bit, lets me build my leadership as well as that respect and safety, because it will help her feel safe in my presence, knowing that I can send another horse away. So here I'm just working on that right side a little bit, and anytime she backs up too much, I'm just politely bringing her forward. And as she's doing this, she's also getting to learn more about that pressure and release piece, because I want her to understand that if she feels a pull on the halter, to give to that. And that's a really important piece, I think, for safety. It helps them with learning how to tie. It helps them with learning how to pony and do a whole bunch of other things. So it's great that she gets all of those little opportunities to do that as well, kind of mixed into the other training. And then as that's going well, I'm starting to teach her to bend to reach for the cookie, which you can see is a little bit more tricky for her. And this is going to help her when we go to start riding. I want her to be able to bend her head for when we start to use the mounting block, be able to turn. She's so polite and she's so careful that she's really kind of straight in her body. And I usually give the cookie while I'm at the front of her. So learning to bend is going to be really important. You can see it's really tricky for her. She kind of expects me to take the cookie to her. So now I want her to start reaching for me more. And of course, today I actually sent emails out to the chiropractor, massage, and osteopath to book appointments for her, because just in case this stiffness is not related to lack of confidence, I want to make sure we address everything physical as well. Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.